Welcome back to another video. My name is Derek. One of the things that I've mentioned about YouTube Tuesdays is I like to find kind of like those hidden gems of YouTube channels that are creating content that is solid and isn't garnering the attention that I believe it should. And I found one of those channels today. The channel is out of Romania, named Phone Repair RO. And scrolling through their videos, they've got solid videos with regards to motherboard repairs. So today we're going to take a look at one of their videos so that you can get an idea of what they have to offer. Let's get into the video. Now, before we get started, one of the things to note is I think due to the fact that they're from Romania, they don't speak English, so basically everything that they're trying to convey, they end up writing on the screen. So you have some music to listen to and some reading to do while you watch it. Maybe that's why it's not garnering so much attention, is because there's no voice in it and it's not in English. But if you're wanting to learn more about board repair, trying to follow along step by step might actually give you a better idea of how to go about diagnosing some of the issues that they cover in their repairs. Not sure if the music is copyrighted, so basically what I'm going to do is we're going to go through the video and I'm going to do a mixture of saying what I observed and also what he's kind of written on the screen. So let's get started. He's got an iPhone 13 that doesn't charge and doesn't power on. He's happy that he's over 3,000 subscribers. And he's calling this a very easy job, so let's see what he means by that. When he plugs it in, it looks like he's getting a 0.2 reading on his amp meter. And it's just hanging there at 0.2, 0.24, but it's not jumping around, which means it's not actually booting. In my experience, this happens to be typically an issue around NAND, around the memory. So it looks like he's going to take the screen off, see what's inside. He's using a razor blade on a 13, which will work. It's not my preferred method. He's apparently seeing something on the screen. Looks like a crack. It looks like a deep scratch in the polarizer layer of the display. I bet you it's a refurbed screen. Yeah. So it's a cosmetic defect, and that sometimes, any refurbisher would have typically just gone past that, but the display's probably fine. He's taken off the screen. And he's looking around to see if he can find any issues. He's going to test looks like the battery line. You can see each line is reading around where it should, 0.34. Yeah, that looks good. And I think due to experience, he's looking straight at where I would go, which is there's a row of capacitors on the top corner of this that tend to have that typical failure. So he's probing right through the underfill and checking to see, and it looks like he's definitely got a short. You can see it's reading 0.000. There's a short on that line that's connected to NAND. Pulling up a board view software. Going to flip the orientation so that it matches what we're looking at. And here is the big capacitor that he was probing at. And you can see that it's the PP 2 volt line, NAND lined, that is short to ground. Now it could be that any of the capacitors that are red are the culprit, but this one on the corner tends to be the failing component for whatever reason. So let's see, he's gonna take the capacitor off the board. I will replace the capacitor in another life. Yeah, typically when you have a line with this many capacitors on it, missing one isn't going to cause any issues. So soldering a new one on can be more risky because you're introducing more heat into that area than just simply pulling it off and leaving it off. So looks like he's just going to pry it away. And you can actually see at the bottom of it, there's like a little crack. Little layers, cracks in the layer right there. So yeah, it's definitely the culprit. You could test it with a multimeter. You can also just test the line with the multimeter to see if the short's gone. So he's taking his probe, and you're getting 0.32. Yep, that's what that line typically reads right around. So he's removed the short. So he's making some observations here that there was a shop that previously worked on the iPhone, changed the battery. He's going to try to flatten out the battery so that it doesn't swell up. He's plugging in the battery and plugging it into his amp meter to see if it gets up to the 2.2 amps that you would typically see a phone get to when it boots. So it jumped to 0.4, 0.46, 0.48, 0.5, 2.3, 2.2. Yep. So this phone is booting now. He obviously needs to connect the display to see it, and yeah, it's hanging at 2.2. So that's a good sign. He's going to reconnect the display, put back all the brackets. And the phone needs to charge, but it's obviously drawing the right amount of current. It's always a good sign. It's always a good feeling too to take a phone that's dead and not working at all and have it come back to life like that. Alright, so he's putting back the last few screws, but obviously the phone's on and working again. You can see the Face ID wanting to activate, which is nice. But yeah, so there you go. Now, one of the things that I noticed when I went to his channel, just to look more about him, being from Romania, his about section is quite hilarious. It says electronics and microsolderings are not easy. It's not like you're going to an online microsoldering course and after 1 month you'll have all the knowledge, as you see all over YouTube. No. Again, I'm giving you ideas, not the solution for your problem. So yeah, this that kind of sums up what these type of repairs are like. You're not going to have all of the knowledge from taking an online course. There's going to be a lot of trial and error, and he knew exactly where to go to find the capacitor that is shorted just because of his experience. And that's what you'll find. The more you do repairs, the more patterns you'll start to recognize with specific failures, and you'll know, okay, I need to look around NAND because of the current that it's drawing. I need to look for a short on the main or the battery line or the boost line. If you got a no IMEI, if you got, depending on the issues, you'll be able to kind of get a general idea of the areas to look for to solve the repairs. So definitely a channel that I think isn't garnering the attention that it should. And although I can tell that his videos aren't necessarily intended to be like a please bro solution type video, they will definitely give you an idea of where to go, of how to start diagnosing issues with motherboards. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Check out their channel. And let me know if you come across a similar channel or a channel that isn't garnering the attention that it should, and I'll check it out. Thanks a ton for watching. We'll see you in the next video.